Errol Spence, the man, the myth, the legend. 50 Cent got a quote. And in that quote, he says, "You're greater in your absence than you are in your presence." And man, does that apply to Errol Spence. I watched a video and the guy said Crawford has to be perfect for 12 rounds. And he's not the first person who said this. Gary Russell said this. He has to be perfect for 12 rounds. And I'm baffled because when is the last time Errol Spence has knocked anybody out with a single punch? Sure, Crawford can lose a round. He could lose 5 of them and still win the match. I don't understand what Errol Spence everybody has been watching. He's the eye collector. Okay, he collects eyes. I got you. Well, how many fights Errol Spence got? 28, 29? What happened to the other 27, 26 people he fought? Did he collect their eye? Did he collect Sean Porter's eye? Did he collect Danny Garcia's eye? No. Did he collect Mikey Garcia's eye? No. I don't get it. I don't understand who everybody's watching. And the thing about Errol is an amazing fighter. And he has a skill set that is not only dominant, but is rare because nobody knows how to fight on the inside. So when Errol gets on the inside, he gets little to no resistance. Mikey Garcia can't fight on the inside. Danny Garcia can't fight on the inside. Not Sean Porter. Kell Brook can't fight on. He gets little to no resistance. And so because of this, they think he's the Terminator. But he's fighting a bunch of guys who don't know how to defend on the inside. I don't even know if there's a litmus test to figure out how good he actually is on the inside, because he's fighting novice level guys on the inside. I'll give you an example. The first amount of resistance he got was Sean Porter. That's the first guy who knew what he was doing on the inside as well. How did that turn out for him? And it turned out so good. In fact, we had to come up with another myth. Now, Sean Porter, somehow, the same Sean Porter who tied with Julio Diaz, the same Sean Porter who maybe we over-exaggerated how bad he beat guys like Devin Alexander, right? The same Sean Porter who lost to Kell Brook, the same Sean Porter who lost to Keith Thurman. Somehow this guy now has become, he fought out of his mind. This was the best Sean Porter we've ever seen. Or was it the worst Errol Spence you've seen because he finally got some resistance on the inside that he's never got before? Errol Spence is also a lefty. And somebody put in the comments, I was discussing Ryan Garcia and his skill set, and they was like, man, most people with the titles are lefties. I never even thought about that before. And I normally think about shit like this, but he's true. It's a lot of lefties kind of dominating boxers. A lot of lefties at the top of the game in boxing. It is true. It's as prominent as they may be in boxing, they're still rare in the world. And it's hard to prepare for a guy that's left-handed when you can't get good left-handed sparring. Okay? So he has that going. And on top of that, he's athletic. And he's fundamentally sound. So he's an amazing fighter, because most guys that fight on the inside, they can be a little slow. They're not that athletic. Timothy Bradley was a great inside fighter when he wanted to be. Timothy Bradley didn't really have any power. Errol Spence does. Brandon Rios was a great inside fighter. Again, he was slow, really wasn't athletic. And also, none of these guys were left-handed. So he has a lot of wrinkles to his game. He does. He's a tough guy to beat. but he is not one punch man. You know, uh, he's not this guy they're making him out to be. Like it's like an urban myth. Like he's not taking eyes. Even him breaking Ugas ribs, I promise you that started online, and I haven't seen anything that said he broke Ugas ribs and he breaks bones. He fought it. Who bones did he break? He only broke up Kell Brook and Dennis Ugas. Okay, I give it to you. Look, Deontay Wilder is a power puncher. Tank Davis is a power puncher. Uh, Arthur Baturviev, power punchers, right? You have to be perfect with them or you have to hurt them because they can knock you out with one punch, or Baturviev with just relentlessness at any moment. Errol Spence hasn't had a knockout. I mean, he stopped Ugas because of the eye injury. This man hasn't had a knockout since who? Was it Lamont Peterson? Let me think of this. Let me see if I can go back in order. So we know he fought Ugas. He fought Sean Porter before that. He fought Danny Garcia before that. No, he fought Ugas. He fought Danny Garcia. Did he fight Sean Porter before that? Was it a Mikey? I don't even know the last time he knocked somebody out. I'm gonna have to get on BoxRec. But again, I shouldn't have to get on BoxRec if Terence Crawford got to be perfect. If I got to get on BoxRec to figure out who the fuck he knocked out, you might hear me typing. I'm literally going on BoxRec right now. I don't know what Errol Spence they've been watching. So if I have to get on BoxRec, and I've watched most of Errol Spence fights, Errol Spence hadn't had a fucking knockout since Carlos Ocampo in 2018. 6/16/2018. So from 6/16/2018 to 4/16/2022, this motherfucker haven't had a knockout. And Terence Crawford has to be perfect. I want to repeat that. Since 6/16/2018 to 4/16/2022, Errol Spence hasn't had a knockout. But Terence Crawford has to be perfect. Okay. I don't know what Errol Spence they've been watching. I do not. I'm not picking Errol Spence to win this fight. And I'm not picking him because of logical reasons. I feel that Errol Spence is the better inside fighter. Everything I said about him being an amazing fighter, I stand by. Everything I said about him being a crafty lefty that fights on the inside, I stand by. But I also stand by the first time I seen him get any sort of resistance, it was a split decision. I think Terence Crawford can provide him resistance. I think Terence Crawford can match him as a lefty. I think Terence Crawford can counter that jab. I think Terence Crawford is the better fighter. And I'll add this to it. I've seen Terence Crawford get hurt. And you know what he did? He came back and knocked the guy out in every instance. So even if he's not perfect, he'll be all right. I'm out.